We need a beat. Spin it again.
Come on.
Welcome back to Vegas Live with ninon. It's amazing down here. We're at the Pepper Mill, but also we're sitting in the greatest music place probably of the world. The Pepper Mill has had more musicians and more people come into a restaurant than probably any restaurant because we are in Vegas. And this used to be where Elvis Presley would sit here, actually, or sitting. This is Frank Wright, and you're actually sitting.
Thank you very much, Bill.
I have to brag a little bit. I was just talking to Frank, and Frank was saying to me, he's watched every one of our episodes. He watches every one of them.
Every one of them.
And he does all these likes, and he's,
I put like on every one of them.
every one of them. And so it's such an honor, when you hear somebody that really likes you.
I know, I kind of want to be like, thank you so much, and also say I'm sorry at the same time.
Why are you sorry? Always good, always good.
Yeah, that's right.
But also, we're in the music industry of the world, and you were just saying, Frank, how many instruments you play.
Well, I play guitar, 6-string. I play guitar, the electric guitar, and do leads and stuff for different tracks that we do at our studio. And I'll talk to you about that in a little bit more. But also play piano, keyboards, bass, 5-string banjo and trumpet, and harmonica too.
Yes, because we have this right
I got that right there. So
are we going to have a little tune on
we're
this?
going to have a little tune on that and the guitar.
So are you in a band here in town, or
Well,
are you studio musician?
I'm in a band. Well, I played with different groups. Let me tell you how I got into show business.
I would love to hear that story.
This is kind of an interesting concept. I started. It was the summer after 4th grade, and I approached my mom. I said, "Mom, could you buy me a guitar?" She said, "I'll buy you a guitar, Frankie, but you got to take lessons." I said, "No, Mom, I don't want lessons.
Typical.
I just want the guitar." So she said, "Okay, but you got to take lessons if I buy you a guitar." She went to Sears and she bought me the silver tone guitar from Sears in Roebuck, and she said, "You got to take lessons." I went to take lessons from the first guitar teacher she hooked me up with, and that was this guy that was playing on the Shock Theater show every Saturday night, and he was the guitar player for the group called the Dead
How old
Beats.
were you right now? You were 11, 12 years old?
I was probably 9.
9
years old.
So they all seem to start very young.
Yeah, I started very young. So I studied with him for a couple of years till he said, "Frank, I touch everything I can, and if you want to proceed, you want to be on television like me," he said, "keep on working at it." So he sent me to another guitar teacher. This was Phil Cagle, and he was a jazz guitar teacher. He taught me all the chords in jazz.
Oh, fabulous.
Then he said, "I touch everything I can." He sent me to Bob Becker. Bob Becker taught me classical guitar, and he taught me all the rudiments of playing classical guitar, the IMA, all your picking and all that kind of stuff. And then he said, "I can't teach anymore. You're going to have to go to the Conservatory of Music." So I went then to study things with Jack Ciccini at the Conservatory of Music in Chicago.
What a story, huh?
Then Jack told me, he said, "Frank, you're playing good guitar." He said, "I do all the commercials for airlines." He said, "You could get into that." And he said, "But you got to join the musicians union." So I said, I kept putting it off and putting it off. Finally, I went and I joined the union. Local 10. And he said, "Fantastic." 3 weeks later, I get a call from Sonny and Cher's manager to appear within the State Lake Theater. And I was on the road. I went from playing classical guitar to rock and roll overnight.
So where are you from?
Did you like that, though? Did you?
Chicago.
You're from Chicago.
So did you like making that change?
Yeah, that was great. For me, it was fun to see 5,000 screaming kids in the audience.
And
liking
Sonny
what I
and
was
Cher,
doing.
I mean, you could not be with anybody better.
They were the bees in that time frame. They were really rock and roll. And I went from that to keep on working with them on the road and doing a thing for their movie, which was called Good Times. So they named the tour the Good Times Tour.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went with the group Chicago. Chicago had an extravagant, much
Real quick, just so you know, there is a Chicago themed night tonight at the Tuscany where all
really?
the musicians in town are going to be there this evening around 10 o'clock. Just
Well,
in
you
case.
should be there.
Just in case.
They should know that one of the guys that actually played with the band is here.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you should go there.
Yeah,
Go
you
there
should.
tonight.
Well, because
Yeah.
the trombone player actually is, he's big in the Vegas scene. I forget his name.
That's James. James. Well,
I don't know
they,
his name,
they
but
have,
I
They
know.
both forgot the name.
the three horn players are let's see.
The guy with the sleeves. No sleeves.
Yeah, that's James Packout.
Packout,
See, I
yes.
don't know why I said it's
There you
escaping.
go. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I was like 18 years old then.
So then you went from that band to that. So which was the one after the Chicago?
After Chicago, then I went with the American Breed
Yeah.
and performed with them. And the American Breed was really good, but they were bubblegum rock and roll.
Yeah.
And they sold a lot of records. And actually, if you know the truth, they sold more records down in South America than they did in America.
Wow.
Yeah, so
They
it's
like their
amazing.
music. Well, you never know who likes your music.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's right.
as long as someone likes your music.
That's right. Then I went from the American Breed to coming out to California to open up some clubs with Dick Dale and with Flip Wilson. So
Flip Wilson,
yeah,
wow.
Flip Wilson
Of
was
course,
the
famous.
greatest at the time. He was so
Yeah.
funny. But I went and I did a bunch of different clubs that we opened up with them, and then it got to be a thing that I was thinking, well, what am I going to do after this? So I went to engineering school and I studied at SMI. I got my degree with audio and video engineering, and then I started working at different, record companies like Cherokee Records, Fillmore's Hyder, A&M Records. And
This
also
guy's kind of
ABC.
you're kind of a guy that doesn't stop, but you always
I
seem,
keep
you
on
always
going.
seem to be
Keep on going.
you always seem to be ahead of the game
That's
in the
right.
music business.
That's exactly right.
And that's what you were. You were ahead of the game. In
My,
case you can't do this, you can do that.
my way of looking at things is be prepared, because you never know when opportunity is going to knock. You got to be ready.
So,
So
what brought you out to Vegas?
what brings me here to Vegas is, well, I've worked at different clubs and stuff, South Point, Caesars and stuff with Cher. Did Cher convention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and a lot of different places in town that I've worked with before.
So let's hear a little bit of his music.
Yeah, let's hear some music.
I mean, you don't have to play for too long. As long as whatever you want.
I'll do a song that I wrote for my wife. This is one when I was traveling for Warner Brothers, and I worked for them for quite a few years. What they did was they sent me 28 times, like in 1 year, to New York to produce records and stuff. So I was doing that. And
I think it's such an honor to
she
have you
says,
there. My goodness.
she says, my wife says, well, what's the last thing you remember about me? I said, well, I see your face, and that's what the song is.
This is I see
So,
your face.
can you hand me that guitar?
Of course.
Thank you. I appreciate
Which way
it.
do you want it? That way or this way?
This way. This way is good.
Let's get the right way for it.
Okay.
Well, I'm
This way
fine.
is good.
Oh, here we go.
This is my classical guitar. In the midst of the cool, cool night, baked in by a sleepy firelight. And as the cold wind spills around the house like a dream in a golden place, and I see your face. Like the feeling of the coming snow, I can almost feel your touch. Although when the sun shines Thank you. I appreciate
We can
it.
leave it right
We can leave it there.
There you go.
It'll sit there.
It'll sit there. We'll hold it there.
Hold it there. Well,
That's it. Now, one thing I didn't know, I knew he played all these instruments. I did not know you sang.
yeah, and I sing.
Yeah, you've got a great voice.
So, thank you. I appreciate that
So
very
what have
much.
you got coming up now, or what are you doing? Or
Well, last weekend I played at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano, and there we played a gig with the Marshall Tucker Band. And this was cool because I've been a big fan of theirs since the 70s. They're just amazing.
So you've got to play with them.
Yeah, I got to work with them.
What an
So
honor.
our situation is that's with the James T. Manning group. James T. Manning is the group that I'm going to be playing in Hermosa Beach with come the 26th of September. So we have quite a few things going on with promoting and pushing the group and doing records and albums and stuff, and keep an eye out for the J.T. Manning group.
J.T. Manning is the name of the group he's with, or
Yes.
is this your group that you
Well, it's
created, or-
James T. Manning is the singer. He's the guy that fronts the group, and we have such a great group of great musicians. It's just phenomenal.
It's amazing. But the one thing I've recognized interviewing, I've never met Frank before, but interviewing him, that you're always ahead of the curve. You're always around, you're always ahead of it.
Always
You've
try to
got-
be, always try to be.
And you keep yourself very busy, but you're also still in demand. Now that must
That
be,
is
an honor.
that is an honor, and that is incredible, and it's hard to live up to.
Well, no, but he's that good. I mean,
Are you
come on.
gonna
he's
be
that-
Are you gonna be performing in Vegas anytime soon?
I'll probably be doing another thing with Cher at Caesars when she gets off of this tour thing that she's doing.
Yeah, she's on tour. You did not want to go on tour with her, or?
Well, it didn't work out with me and my other things, other responsibilities. We have a studio. We have California Sound Studios and Wright Records, the label. So we promote.
you have a lot of stuff
We
going
have a
on.
lot of stuff going on. We just did a thing at the Coach House with 20 different bands competing for a record deal. We are under the umbrella of Sony Records. So Sony Distribution. We got lots of things going on.
But you keep your obligations up.
I keep my obligations up.
So don't forget to watch out for Frank Wright. He's going to be with Cher, and when she comes back to Las Vegas, but at the moment, she appears what at Caesars, isn't it?
She is at Caesars a lot. Once in a while at MGM.
But mostly she's at Caesars, and she's just. I mean, this woman is amazing.
Oh, I know, I've
This
seen
woman.
it.
I mean, I'm not going to talk about age, but she looks amazing. I mean, she really
She is amazing.
Kudos to you, Cher. You're an amazing woman, and we shall be right back. Frank, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a great meeting.
Thank you for watching. He watches all my shows. I love every minute of it.
Come on.